Okay. We are looking to deploy either a Wi-Fi 6 or 6E solution. That's the winner.
The winner.
And then we have a
Okay.
tie. We are currently deploying a Wi-Fi 6 solution, and we are currently deploying a Wi-Fi 5 solution.
Okay,
Thank you,
great,
guys.
great. That sounds pretty perfect for what we're going to talk about today. You know, especially with these new wireless technologies. But as we know, Wi-Fi in general is continuously fluid. It's constantly in motion, where it's moving forward, trucking along, different Wi-Fi generations constantly coming about. And we've really come a long way in terms of what we can do and what we can offer to subscribers in terms of their wireless experience throughout their home. And as you can see, there has been a steady evolution of the style and the overall form factor of wireless routers. In the past, we used to have a lot of the antennas, external antennas, things like that, whereas now a lot of that is internalized. We still do see a lot of these spider-looking devices off the shelf in big box stores, but for the most part, a lot of the wireless router vendors have internalized a lot of the antennas so that it's one less thing for the subscriber to worry about, to mess with, that could impact their performance. And of course, in the back end, there are the wireless technologies that are continually evolving, continually getting better and improving, so that we don't have that need to have the internals external. So we've done a lot of work in terms of wireless, the Wi-Fi Alliance, as far as improving, making changes to overall improve the performance of wireless. And like I mentioned, we have come a long way from the early days of Wi-Fi. It's very weird to say Wi-Fi 1, but now, of course, the naming convention is a bit easier for our subscribers to understand, with Wi-Fi 4, 5, and the latest being Wi-Fi 6, and 6E being a part of that. And we're constantly evolving, constantly trying to improve upon these technologies. Again, better experience, more bandwidth to use, faster speeds. It's just a never-ending process to really keep up and keep pace with the wired bandwidth that is becoming more widely available, with a lot of providers offering multi-gig services. The Wi-Fi needs to keep pace and be able to handle that as well. And we're seeing that, again, that constant evolution moving forward, with more improvements in bandwidth, handling multiple heavy users, things of that nature. So very, very, very constantly in motion. So on that note, around Wi-Fi 4, Wi-Fi 5, and especially with Wi-Fi 6, we had the induction of mesh technology and the easy mesh standards. And what mesh is really bringing us is, the whole home coverage, adding extenders, adding pods, satellites, things like that, to improve the coverage throughout the home, and in some cases outside of the home, right? There are a lot of instances where now a lot of subscribers are looking for wireless outdoors as well. So Easy Mesh is introduced to really help the overall subscriber experience, with features like band steering, AP steering, roaming features, really to optimize, again, the experience for the subscribers. And along with Mesh, we have managed Wi-Fi, being able to manage these devices, control these devices throughout the home. And really, again, it's all about giving the subscriber the best experience possible, and having a single SSID throughout the home, not having to worry about which band they're connected to. All that optimization built into the devices is going a long way, and really taking us forward to, that seamless connection throughout the home. So obviously with Mesh, with Easy Mesh, we're seeing these improvements, we're seeing these changes, but they're, again, continuing to evolve, continuing to move forward. And just focus real quickly on Wi-Fi 6 and 6E. So Wi-Fi 6 is also referred to as high efficiency Wi-Fi. So the real goal there is to provide the best experience for all of the wireless clients connected to the network. And We also have the induction of Wi-Fi 6E, which is Wi-Fi 6 extended. And what really extends us into is that 6 gigahertz spectrum. So traditionally with Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 5, we only had to deal with the 5 gigahertz and the 2.4 gigahertz radios. But those are obviously becoming impacted, overcrowded, lots of congestion, lots of noise. So we now have access to this new 6 gigahertz spectrum, which gives us a whole lot more room to work with. And I'll get into a bit more deeper as we go forward. So with Wi-Fi 6 in general, what we're going to get a lot more Wi-Fi throughput capacity, being able to handle a lot more clients at the same time specifically. In the past, it was more of a one-to-one relationship with all of the wireless clients to the wireless router, whereas now we're able to communicate more efficiently with several wireless clients at the same time. So there's a lot more in the background happening as far as the wireless technologies goes to make those improvements. But overall, the goal, well, it's already been sort of achieved in this case, is we have lower latency, we're handling clients better, there's a lot more airtime techniques involved that improve the overall experience for all of the subscribers. There are also some, I don't want to say silly, but some other unique changes with Wi-Fi 6 in the background, as far as clients, Wi-Fi 6 clients being able to identify Wi-Fi 6 routers in a crowded environment. So again, more efficient communication and optimizing the wireless experience for all of these subscribers. One of the key benefits of Wi-Fi 6 is the backwards compatibility with legacy clients, and having those clients be able to communicate at their fullest speeds while also handling the latest and greatest clients, the ones that are actually capable of the higher throughput speeds, of the higher connection rates. And the legacy clients no longer impact those devices. So everything is able to operate at its maximum capacity without having to cause any strain to other clients that are using the same wireless network. So we've come a very long way in specifically in these terms of handling all of the clients at their maximum capacity. Now, specifically looking at Wi-Fi 6 and 6E, the key differences between the two, the big ones that stand out obviously with Wi-Fi 6E is 6 gigahertz. And having access to much wider channels, more available channels. So again, we're dealing with the over congestion, the crowdedness of the Wi-Fi 6, the 5 gigahertz and the 2.4 gigahertz. And really, those aren't really going anywhere. Especially the 2.4 gigahertz. That one is key for a lot of IoT devices, a lot of wireless cameras, things like that, things that are further out, farther away from the wireless router. So it's still going to be a key piece moving forward, but we're still moving towards the newer, latest and greatest wireless technologies as well. As far as I don't like to necessarily say a downside, but one of the situations we run into with 6E is that only 6 gigahertz clients will be able to connect to these 6 gigahertz radios. And it's not so much like we're saying that, it's not compatible, things of that nature. It's simply a hardware limitation. Whereas, the existing devices in the field that already operate on 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, they don't have a 6 gigahertz radio. So it's simply a hardware limitation. So a lot of our mobile phones, mobile devices, those would have to be upgraded to the latest and greatest generation to basically add a 6 gigahertz radio into them, and they'll be able to use that that 6 gigahertz network as well. So it's a sort of an odd situation, but I mean, as far as our laptops go, things like that, those of course can upgrade the wireless part, no problem. But for the most part, a lot of the mobile phones, things like that, most recently the iPhone 15 Pro, right? 15 Pro added 6 gigahertz support, so they will be able to utilize this new band as well. So Wi-Fi 6E is definitely giving us something new to work with, a whole lot more spectrum to play with, and it's really going to ultimately set us up for what's coming next as well in the future with Wi-Fi 7. So again, just to highlight the key benefits when moving to Wi-Fi 6E and using the 6 gigahertz spectrum. One of the big ones, I know there's, a lot of, I guess, bragging rights, or, a lot of some folks have a bit of pride in their wireless performance and their speed testing, things like that. So with 6 gigahertz, we are actually seeing a lot of, with the available clients that are out there, a lot of the flagship phones from the major vendors are able to achieve over a gig speed test results. So it's really getting impressive as far as what we can actually achieve over the 6 gigahertz spectrum. But overall, again, we have that higher capacity, more clients connected. Adding a third radio is, again, being able to handle a lot more wireless devices. With the anticipated IoT boom we're seeing, there's a lot of Wi-Fi in everything. Everything's Wi-Fi enabled. So adding this essentially new highway, super fast highway, is definitely a benefit moving forward. So as we are right now, in a lot of instances for 6 gigahertz and Wi-Fi 6E, what we're seeing is it primarily being used as the wireless backhaul, because it is a clean channel. Nothing else really uses it inside of the home. So we're seeing a lot of the backhaul behavior for the 6 gigahertz. It's a larger highway, again, a larger pipe for more bandwidth, and again, a cleaner channels to work with. So ultimately, for now, I'd say we are seeing most of this being used for backhaul purposes. Then you have your dedicated 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz radios on your extenders, and they're not having to do double duty, having to backhaul back to the main router, things like that. So it's alleviating stress on them as well, and just improving the overall experience for the wireless subscribers. But of course, things will start to change. Like I mentioned, the new iPhone will have the Wi-Fi 6E support. So we're going to start seeing more clients being adopted and utilizing this 6 gigahertz spectrum as well. Especially, as things start to change as far as existing technologies. I know there's already talk about 16K streams as far as video goes. I know 8K streams, so we're already looking at you need a solid stream of about 100 megabits per second. So these things are only going to be more and more utilized as we move forward in the future. Speaking of the future, we are also looking forward to the Wi-Fi 7 certification that is anticipated to come down towards the end of this year, and we are anticipating seeing devices coming out as far as early as Q1, Q2 next year. And it's going to be very interesting to see what we can actually offer and achieve in terms of Wi-Fi 7. Wi-Fi 7's name is ultra high performance, right? Or ultra high throughput. So we're really talking a heavy throughput, again, using all three of those bands. And really Wi-Fi 6E has become sort of the stepping stone into the next generation of Wi-Fi. But it does still have a place and still is going to be here for a while in terms of availability and what we can actually offer to our subscribers. Okay. So with that out of the way, with the Wi-Fi stuff out of the way, we'll speak a bit about the management options that we have to, again, the focus of the webinar, to really maximize the profits and get our subscribers onboarded with Wi-Fi 6 and 6E. Before we jump into the management stuff, Rochelle, could you do the second poll? Just to get an idea of where everyone's at.
All right. For the second poll, are you currently using a remote management solution? Yes, we are currently using a TR069. Yes, we are currently using a cloud-hosted remote management solution. Or no, we are planning to implement a remote management solution. or the last one is no, we are not currently using a remote management solution. So let's see. All right, I think we have a tie. The first one, yes, both yes. We are currently using Tier 69, and yes, we are currently using a cloud-hosted remote management solution. There you go.
Okay. Just to get an idea of, the audience and, really what we're using. And I guess I could sort of kind of breeze through these slides if everyone's already using TR069. So when it comes to remote management, there are various options available. The industry standard, broadband forum usually being TR069. As you've seen in our previous webinars, we've brought on our ACS vendor partners. Today we have Plume with us. And overall, I mean, the benefits of remote management are, I don't think you can count them. I mean, it helps in so many ways in terms of managing, maintaining, upgrading, configuring. There's a whole lot we can do remotely with TR069. And like the poll mentioned, there are a lot of now that shift happening where it's no longer a locally hosted TR069 server. A lot of that is moving to the cloud. Everything's sort of making that transition to optimize, offload those maintenance requirements onto, let's say the industry experts as far as that goes. So again, in terms of what TR069 or in general, what remote management can offer in general, being able to remotely access, gain insight into your subscriber networks it's just you can't count it. So aside from remote maintenance, we also save costs on truck rolls. We don't have to go out and visit for every trouble issue. We can get historical data of problems if there is, patterns, things like that, really without having to leave the office, right? That's the goal ultimately, is to avoid those. So once we're deployed, set, we don't have to really worry about it. And if something does come up, we're able to work through it remotely. So when it comes to TR069, a lot of this has also become a bit well, this term has come about quite a bit, zero-touch configuration, and really the idea of essentially burning in those settings so that if the device is reset, if it is, something has changed, well, really when it's reset, it will phone back home, it'll reconnect to your server. These things are just, to make things easier, to make life easier. And not only that, I mean, this can also go towards self-installation, where you don't even necessarily need to send a tech out to install the wireless router if everything's already set up outside. They can just plug it in, it phones home, and you have insight into the customer's home. However, TR069 is a bit, the traditional TR069 is a bit outdated, is a bit slower. There is a lot of back and forth communication that happens over the network. So we're causing a bit of overhead, we're causing a bit of delay in some cases. It is a bit slower, but these are also, just like Wi-Fi, ever evolving, improving, trying to get better and trying to get things done much quicker. And that's where we see the evolution of TR069 also moving forward to TR369, which is the latest and greatest offering from the broadband forum. And again, a standardized protocol is going to be able to do all the same things that we were in the TR069. Several improvements as far as the improvements go. One of the big ones is going to be that real-time telemetry, being able to see what's going on in the subscriber home at a moment's notice very quickly, being able to pull that data very quickly. So They've adopted a lot of newer technologies as far as communication goes to be able to determine when a device goes offline. But the big one, of course, is getting all of that data, being able to upsell, being able to see the usage on the customer network. There's a ton of benefits that come along with the latest generation of TR360 now. So this is more of obviously the, I know we say it a lot, the standard, broadband form standard. That's very defined, right? And of course, we do not offer our own management platform. We like to partner with everyone and anyone that is, of course, willing to work with us and that our customers want to work with. So we always work and strive towards interop with any vendor, any ACS vendor. And on the flip side of that, we are also partnered with Plume on the open source side of things and OpenSync to, again, offer our customers whatever platform they choose, whatever fits your needs best. So that is our the route that we take. And with that, I will hand things off to Sean to go over. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I guess I spoke about it, but I didn't flip the slides. Real quick. So just a bit of visual. So we do, again, offer the best of either option. Our software is interchangeable. If you were taking the OpenSync route, we have OpenSync software available on some of our products. On the flip side, of course, we always offer the TR069 broadband form as well. So what we're really trying to do, again, is offer you the best of both worlds. Whichever route you want to take, we're happy to support and work with you along the way. And now with that, we can hand off to Sean.
Awesome. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it. And thank you so much, Zyxel team, for including me on the webinar today. I'm happy to be here representing Plume and speak to our services that are part of OpenSync. So Plume, if you're not familiar with us, we are a leading services platform. We are a software-only company. We do have very recognizable hardware designs, but we are integrated in over 35 different hardware and OpenSync ODM vendors. What this does is it creates a huge ecosystem of compatibility, of choice for you as operators to be able to choose from. We've grown over the past 9 years. When I started at Plume about 2.5 years ago, we had 150 customers, and today we're getting close to over 400 CSP partners worldwide. We have over 50 million households globally, and it is supported by our Home Pass app, which has over a 4.6 rating within both the iOS App Store and the Android Store. Plume has been able to grow quickly in part of the large customers we've had around the world. OpenSync is well led by being able to have data policies, and I'll talk a bit about that in a bit, being very GDPR compliant, being data privacy compliant across the world. We have some of the larger customers like Liberty Global. When we deployed with them throughout Europe, they really needed a system that was top of the line data security and protection. Being able to partner with a lot of these customers, what we found is a lot of data is kind of left at the doorstep or left on the ground, as you would say. So we've learned from working with our larger customers and working with customers of all sizes around every demographic, what's really important, what helps actually move the needle forward and give you the data and insights you need. There's a big challenge out there for customer service providers. You know, as Andrew spoke about, consumer expectations are skyrocketing. There's more and more devices in the home, and it's great to see that there's so many folks that have adopted a cloud-managed solution. There's nothing worse as a consumer or a subscriber when you have to call into your customer support and they say, sorry, there's no way I can help you remotely on this call. I will send out a technician and they will be there within the next 3 to 5 days. Customers expect more from that, especially in our market when they're seeing the evolution of e-commerce and advertising and things you're thinking about or may have spoken about with your significant other shows up in your Facebook feed as an advertised ad. They start to wonder, why can't my internet service provider, who's leading the charge in a lot of ways, get up to that level? How do they meet my consumer expectations? A big part of that is reducing operational costs as well. Being able to do things where you have AI-powered tools in the background. So when you have a Black Friday sale and two neighbors who live right next door to each other go to Walmart and they buy that Samsung Frame TV that's on super sale, well, guess what? When they turn on the product is set to the manufacturer setting Wi-Fi channel, and you have network interference because now you have two consumers, two subscribers who live right next to each other who have just bought a brand new TV, but they're both on the 164 gigahertz channel, right? So how do we automatically switch them and know that, and being able to use our 50 million homes around the world, we can aggregate that type of data and say, look, we know this is a problem. We know there's going to be neighboring network interference. We're going to automatically switch that device as soon as we see it come online. So it's not a problem for you and your support teams, and you reduce that call. And last but not least, it's the ability to deliver more services to help increase your ARPU. So by integrating with OpenSync, you're able to constantly innovate and come out with new devices or new features that you can bring more value to that of your customers. A lot of the customer and subscriber type of interaction in the past has been set and forget it, right? It's been set up your Wi-Fi, make sure they're okay, and then you don't really communicate with them again unless needed or they have a problem. We're helping you through OpenSync be able to get ahead of that challenge. How do you retain that customer? How do you prevent them from churning? How do you give them some of the data and intel we have on the back end that makes them feel more comfortable with that of your product? So Plume is the services layer of OpenSync with our backbone. Being a software-centric company, we've been able to work with all different types of vendors to be able to integrate OpenSync and the HomePass and WorkPass services, as well as Haystack, our backend tool, into that device. And this is a big advantage to that in our market, right? We see a lot of providers today who unfortunately have to swivel chair between different products and different management solutions. And as many of you on the call may know from acquiring other companies, it gets even harder. If you acquire a different CSP business and they have a whole different hardware system than you do, they have a different pricing system than you do, your poor support teams are sitting there trying to swivel between different products to find the details they need to be able to support a customer. So OpenSync provides that backbone to be able to integrate all different types of hardware devices into one single view and layer so that you can manage it holistically. Okay, so our platform, so everyone's aware, Haystack is our backend tool on the left-hand side. And Haystack is really what empowers our service providers, our customer support teams, our network operations teams. This is our data prediction and analytics suite. And it also allows you to make changes real time to a specific customer location, or perhaps your entire network. WorkPass is our WorkPass small business owner tool for businesses in especially like MDU type environments where it may be a coffee shop or a smoothie bar, even a doctor's office. We found that there is this little bit of a gap between the solutions that are offered today, between like Meraki and Cisco and the really big expensive stuff for enterprise, and that of what small businesses really need. So WorkPass fills that gap between using Link, which is our adaptive Wi-Fi, Keycard for tracking employee productivity, giving them their own employee network to log on to, and then providing Concierge with it's a tool that your guests can log into, have a captive portal, and very importantly for shops that want to retain and get customers back, once you have a captive portal, you're able to use and leverage that data and that customer, and you can send them reminders and maybe even send them an offer and say, hey, here's $5 off. your next smoothie when you come back by the end of the month. HomePass is our smart home services suite, which has been the widest adopted and our product that has been out for the longest. We have 4 services specifically within HomePass that you would be able to leverage through your OpenSync product. Adapt is our adaptive Wi-Fi service. Being able to intelligently prioritize my computer for this webinar call versus that of, say, my wife's VPN for her hospital she needs to work for is pretty important. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to give you a crystal clear experience as today. Control is our access and parental control management system. You have really neat technology within that where you can go down and you can freeze devices at a device level. So some of my coworkers were just talking about how they did that with our high schoolers. They were here for a meeting in our Palo Alto office, and their high schoolers were getting home a couple hours before she was, and she froze that Xbox device on their network so that her kids couldn't just get home and start playing Xbox. They had to finish their homework work at first. Guard is our digital security. It is backed by Akamai Services, who's #1 in CDN and security prevention. And finally, last but not least, is Sense. Sense is our motion detection tool, which you can see within homes what type of activity you have. And very important for that of even those who have second homes or vacation rental, they really like having the ability to see a motion detection within the home. Uprise is our MDU management suite, which is newer, and this combines the best of both worlds. So you have these WorkPass locations, you have HomePass residential locations, and then you have Uprise, which could be a new MDU building that combines, those professional offices, those smoothie bars, those coffee shops, and then the subscriber residence. How do you make that a conductive experience without the subscriber having to jump between our public Wi-Fi and guest Wi-Fi at a coffee shop, and then they go see their doctor and it's a different Wi-Fi, and then they go to their home and it's a different Wi-Fi network? Uprise really solves for that problem and also really helps reduce load clustering between that of the Wi-Fi and the building. And then Harvest is our marketing insights suite, and really taking that data that we provide you within OpenSync to be able to market that back to your subscribers. Okay, as I explained earlier, we have these different services layers. So the A service above is your customer support tool, Haystack. B are these data analytics that we provide for you to be able to leverage and give back and use in your marketing back to the subscriber, or even for your network operations planning. And then last but not least is our consumer experience tools. So the actual mobile applications of WorkPass and HomePass that your subscribers will be able to use and leverage within their home. And it's important to mention, as I said before, OpenSync is a common open source software framework, and we work with 35 different vendors to be able to integrate into that product so you have a holistic management system. Okay, I think I explained these, so we can skip through these next 3 slides, please, Andrew. Perfect, thank you. Okay, so Haystack is very, very important. This is where I opened and I said there's a lot of data left at the door. It's a lot of data left on the ground. And a lot of it is very critical to that of your business, right? We go so deep into our platform, we're able to see device levels. We can see load congestion across the network. We can see the stability of your entire network. You can get down to even being able to prevent service calls or truck rolls before they happen, because you are able to tell the internet at my neighbor's house is out. There is a fire going on. I am able to send a text message or a push notification to that of the subscriber before I get a bunch of calls to my support network saying, hey, what happened? Why is my internet out? You already have a fix for it. You've already been able to promote that message to your subscriber base before you have that problem. Another big thing that Haystack does is it works using our AI tools in the back end to make devices better. So like I explained with that Samsung TV example and the 2 neighbors being on the same gigahertz band, we look at that across all the 50 million homes and can see which devices have the most problems. We can see which devices are at most security risk or hacked the most. And then by using our tools, we can better the amount of security protection for those devices. Okay, I'm going to close with this slide. And this really encompasses everything we've talked about today. But the important thing with OpenSync is to understand it gives you unprecedented data and detail into what's going on. A lot of this was not accessible before, right? Being able to see your NPS scores, your competing ISP offers that are within the area, your quality of streaming service for TiVo customers versus that of somebody streaming on YouTube TV, your Wi-Fi coverage, your device quality of health. There's all of these things that have now become so important for us to be able to understand and grow our business as we move away from that former triple play package, right, of selling phone, internet, and TV. We now are going towards a model where consumers want to be able to just have internet. And we need to understand as operators, well, how do we make up that revenue from losing our phone customers and our TV customers? And a lot of that is being able to leverage this data more effectively so that you don't lose that customer, you have a longer retention span, and you're able to more proactively communicate to them. So with that, I will hand it back to Andrew, but thanks again for giving me some time to talk.
Absolutely. Anytime. So, oh, sorry. Oh, well, got ahead of myself. Sorry about that. Okay. Thank you again, Sean. And so with that, we'd like to take a moment to focus on our solutions that we have available with our Wi-Fi 6 and 6E products that are OpenSync certified. So first off, we have our 1 gig offering, which is our EX3510. Again, the focus is OpenSync certified. Of course, we do also support TR069 on those devices, but if you are interested in the OpenSync solution, we do have this model available, probably one of our most popular products with the 1 gig out option. Next up is our EX5510. This is our first introduction to multi-gig offering. So offering you that 2.5 gig WAN port out, and of course, OpenSync certified as well. All right. To pair with these devices as well, we offer our WX3310 extender. Small form factor and is OpenSync certified. We do have a wall mounting option available. So if you need to place it up high, you can. And the last model, which we actually just received certification on, is our EX7710. This is our Wi-Fi 6E offering. So true tri-band router with a 4x4 configuration on the 2.4, 5G, and 6 gigahertz radios. It's also bundled with a 10 gig WAN port and 10 gig LAN port. So we have what we refer to as a non-blocking design, where we have full through and through 10G capability, especially for those subscribers that want to just continuously run speed tests. You have an option there. So when you do offer multi-gig services, you have a true through and through connection, so you can really verify the speeds. Can also help with installation to prove out those speeds during the install process. But this one we're very pleased to announce is OpenSync certified now, and we're ready for ready for testing and ready for deployment on OpenSync with the EX7710. With that, we will take any questions. And
All right, thank you, Andrew and Sean. For the first question, which Zyxel devices will support TR369? And following to that, will Zyxel offer a management server?
Okay, well, I guess this is for me. We like I mentioned, we do not offer our own management platform. We prefer to partner with any and all vendors who do offer a solution. We are working very closely with several vendors on a TR369 testing. And as far as which products we'll support, it's really sort of, I don't know if it's necessarily up in the air. I mean, we obviously are moving forward with TR369. The current model that we are verifying and testing with is our EX3510. But overall, it will be built into our Opal platform, which is our standard firmware, and that will be included moving forward. As far as adoption goes, I mean, it really depends on if you need it. Of course, we can support it. So it's really going to be, I think, to begin with, more of a case-by-case basis, but it is definitely something that we will offer.
Okay, next question. Will the WX5512 Wi-Fi 6 mess with the EX770 Wi-Fi 6E router? Did I say that correctly?
I understand the question, definitely. Asking about our WX5512 and our EX7710 being compatible. Of course, it's a bit of a mixed bag here, because currently on our EX7710 with the Wi-Fi 6E support, we're using the 6 gigahertz for backhaul. So we pair that with our WX5610 extender. That will be, that also utilizes the 6 gigahertz spectrum. So that uses 6 gig for backhaul. So as of right now, the WX5512 will not mesh with the EX7710. But like I mentioned, we do have a separate extender available for that purpose.
That's a great answer. All right. I think this is for Sean. With OpenSync, which radio is used for backhaul between APs?
Ooh, a good question. It depends on the product. I mean, if it's a Wi-Fi 6E product versus that of a Wi-Fi 6 product bands you have, I'll have to ask our engineering team about that specifically.
Okay, great. When can we test the EX7710 and OpenSync?
Like I just mentioned, we just received certification for the EX7710. So we'll be working with our engineering team to get that out there and get firmware ready for testing. Yeah, so I mean, if you are interested, definitely contact our team, contact engineer, salesman, and we'll be happy to help you further with that.
Awesome. All right. Will the WX5610 be introduced to Plume for certification?
That is a bit of a unknown area at the moment. We are still working on the details of what we're planning as far as roadmaps go, as far as what's going to be the next product to be OpenSync certified. So that is still under discussion, but it looks like there is some interest. So, I mean, I can definitely take that back to our product management team and keep them in the loop with that and let them know that there is interest in that model being up for certification as well.
Great. Okay. Let's see. What methods can we use to measure speeds? Following to that, up to 10G.
Okay. So on the TR069 standard side, we have TR143 speed testing available that we can run to the wireless routers. There have been improvements on that as well. So we are actively looking at that as an option to be able to achieve those up to 10G speeds. There are other alternatives as well with certain integration. I believe on the Plume side as well, we have speed testing available. I'm not sure how fast that is just yet, but I know there are some UCLA and another option as well. Sean?
Yeah, you got it. That, and then there's Sam knows integration as well on our OpenSync side. So if you're looking to leverage that, especially for CAF testing or RDOF FCC reporting, that's huge.
Yeah, definitely. So
All right.
on multiple platforms, we'll be able to get what you need.
Okay, great. All right. What's Zyxel planning to offer next with OpenSync?
That was sort of like the last question.
Okay.
There's it's still we're still working on that as far as roadmap goes, as far as things go. I know there's some heavy interest in Wi-Fi 7 as well, so that is also a consideration of ours. The next generation product being certified. So it's really it's very, very, very fluid right now. We don't know exactly which model or if it's going to be a new model, but we are definitely, that is under discussion on our side.
Right. All right. I think we have 10 more minutes. We have the last question here. Well, one more question or two more questions rather. We are looking to deploy EX7710. However, we need an extender that will mesh with EX7710. It is paramount that WX5610 be Plume certified or another device.
So not really a question, more of a statement, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah.
So that essentially, if you want to, they're saying that they want to use the EX7710 with Plume, with OpenSync, but they want to pair that with an extender. I will need to double check with our team. I believe that the EX7710 can do double duty, act as an extender and a gateway. So that could be a potential option, but I will need to confirm with our team what our plan is there. But it is nice to see that there is a lot of interest in adding a 6E extender on Plume to be OpenSync certified.
Great. And last question, is Wi-Fi 6E worth it? Or is it better to wait for Wi-Fi 7?
You want to take a shot at this one, Sean?
I mean, it depends what you're looking to deploy. If you're looking to really deploy a differentiated offer and be on, say, like the newest and latest and greatest, your consumer subscribers are going out and buying the brand new iPhone 15 Pro that Andrew mentioned earlier, which is now on Wi-Fi 6E. So there is some demand for Wi-Fi 6E that we're seeing. Wi-Fi 7 will bring a whole new generation, whereas Wi-Fi 6E is more of the different spectrum band that you're able to utilize. So it really does depend. We have customers in Germany that were the first to launch Wi-Fi 6E, and that was huge for them as a marketing campaign. And we have other customers that are waiting for Wi-Fi 7.
Okay, great answer. Well, I guess that would be it, guys. Do you want to add anything else before we wrap it up?
Thanks everyone for joining today.
Yeah, thank you for helping out today, Sean. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, so that was a very informative webinar, Andrew and Sean. Thank you, Andrew, and thank you to Sean. We know you're incredibly busy and we're happy you took the time to join us. Thank you to all okay. Thank you to all attendees. We hope you enjoyed it, and we will send you an email to access the recorded webinar. Once again, thank you guys, and we'll see you on our next webinar. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.